This video is kind of special to me because I got the opportunity to share it with the members of the group, and I thought, why not share it with the rest of you? So it's all about how to overcome overwhelming, especially as a beginner, especially someone who doesn't know anything about AI and automation. Because, when you look at my social media, it looks like I have everything figured out. It looks like that, I'm perfect. But in reality, I eat overwhelming for breakfast. I get overwhelmed on a daily basis, but sometimes it's unhealthy. And the way that I'm able to perform at the level that I am is not because I'm perfect, because I am not, but because I have systems, I have, techniques that I'm doing, and I'm here to just basically share them. So without further ado, I've got 6 stuff on my list. Number one is have a to-do list. This is like the number one thing that you should have, mainly because we are very forgetful people. Like when I sleep, the moment I wake up, I forget everything that happened yesterday. Like for some reason, our minds are programmed to like have a soft refresh every time we sleep. And having a to-do list basically ensures us that we don't miss a single thing. And I've got a couple of tools that I'm using. Number one is Trello. All right, I've got Trello to manage my tasks, to manage my team's tasks, to manage my clients. Right, every time I get a new client, I automatically create a new board for them so that everything is, not forgotten. Everything is documented. And the good thing about Trello is that it's free. All right, you can get 10 boards for free and you can connect it to your make.com or NNN, which is perfect. You can use Notion, you can use other, Kanban boards, that softwares, but I like Trello the best. Right? So when you create a board, start with a template. You can use, for example, simple project board. So as we can see, you can have 10 open boards. Let's try and create that. And it will automatically already create everything for you. So when you have an idea, and we'll get to that in a bit, just put it on brainstorm. So idea one, or feature one, or bug one, whatever whatever task that you have, just put it in brainstorm with the moment that you got the idea. Then after that, when you start doing it, or you start planning to do it, just move it over to the do. So you can have like 100 brainstorm ideas. Then every week, select like the 5 most important tasks, move it over to do. And then once you're actually doing it, just move it over to doing. Then after that, just go to done. Then mark it as complete. It's as simple as that, right? It's super simple addition to your workflow. If you have not yet been using boards yet, you should definitely give it a try, right? The next thing is that, for example, I'm recording new videos today and Trello is good. All right. It already has checklists. So for example, if you select a card, you can definitely make use of all the additional features that the card has. Definitely just go on YouTube, type how to maximize Trello. There's a bunch of videos that are by people who are better than me at this. But aside from Trello, I need to have like just a simple, solid checklist. And you can definitely use Notepad, but I think Notepad is kind of hard. For example, if I want to search for something that I did 7 days ago, it's kind of hard. So that's why I use something called Logsec. So Logsec is, again, a free software that I use in order to like have a replacement for my notes. So for example, this is my notes. We'll just pull it up. So as we can see, I'm trying to record new vids for my course. And I've got this one. So today is June 24. And then I can do something like this. Now, task 1. Now, task 2. Then immediately, I get all that here. I just can't find it. There we go. So like all the tasks that are like labeled as now will come up here. And then like you can also take advantage of to do, or else later, doing. I'm not sure actually, but I just like the simplicity of being able to create checklists per day and having this now option. Then I can go back to my previous days and have like a solid tracking for the things that I did for a specific day. And then you can definitely take advantage of the search. Like, this is my favorite. When I have something that I forgot, but I know I listed that, I can just go here and search for, for example, what else? Links, right? You can go and go back to this one, right? It's as easy as that. You can also create whiteboards, flashcards, and then this is kind of complex. I don't usually use this, but you can even connect your notes together. I'm not gonna make a full-on logsec tutorial video here, but if you want, you can definitely comment down below. But yeah, this is like my main go-to. When I'm in my laptop, I make sure that I list everything. I mean everything. The moment that I get the idea, I don't hesitate. I go straight to logsec. I go straight to Trello, right? And just list them down so that I don't forget them. Because I promise you, if you just implement that, mindset, that habit, just putting them down in a checklist, you're gonna do a lot more stuff. Because the worst thing that I experience is I've got a bunch of tasks, then I forget to put them in my checklist, and then a day goes by, a week goes by, I forget it, and then the client says, "Were you able to do this?" I've got nothing. All right, the only excuse I have is I forgot. So definitely use any task management tool that you can get a hand on. Again, paper and pen is already pretty much good, but definitely try Logsec. It's free, and Trello. Now, have a to-do list. We're done with that. The next one is breaking down big tasks to smaller ones. Right? So the main problem with becoming overwhelmed is because we're scared of the things that haven't happened yet. We're scared of things that we don't know. For example, we're overwhelmed because we don't know what part of the process are we at. We're overwhelmed because we don't know the scope. We don't know how big the task is. And the way that I am able to overcome that is just by utilizing board creation tools or like diagram creation tools, such as this one, Excalibur. So this is a free tool. I'm going to put the link in the description below, but again, it's free. And let's say, you've got a big task. Like, for example, you want six-pack abs. This is like my perfect analogy for this. Notice how easy it is to like draw diagrams. Six-pack abs. Of course, you can definitely say that, I need to eat healthy. I need to like work out every day. But like what do you really need to do every day, every week, every month in order to achieve that goal? So this is more appropriate for, big projects. If the task is as simple as, buying dog food, you probably don't need to break it down into smaller tasks. But let's say you've got this big goal, and that big goal is six-pack abs. Put it down in writing, right? That's the most powerful thing that you can do. Once you've got that in writing, it becomes possible. And the way that you're able to achieve that is by breaking it down into smaller tasks. And if you're an expert at this, you can definitely skip on this video. But for those who are unorganized, this will probably be helpful for you. Six-pack abs, what does that mean? Of course, as I mentioned, we gotta eat healthy, right? And then we gotta work out. And then we also gotta walk 10K steps per day. Now we can connect them here. Right? But what does eating healthy mean? That means no sauces. That also means no fatty foods. That also means no noodles and so on. Like you can do this stuff over and over again until you're able to like scope everything out, be able to list everything from the biggest goal to the smallest one. Right? Now, you can apply this with your clients. For example, you're on the call with a client. You can ask them, what's your biggest problem right now? Right? You can brainstorm. My biggest problem is I'm getting, 1,000 leads, but five sales. All right. What you're going to do on the actual call is like asking them questions. Why do you think so? Let's brainstorm this. All right. You're going to ask, how are you currently getting your customers? You're going to ask them, ads. Are you doing ads? Are you doing word of mouth? Are you doing, organic social media? Now dissect. What are they doing with the ads? For example, they're running, $5 per day ads. Or do they have a landing page? No landing page. How many are going through, organic and so on? Like the biggest thing that you can do in order to like overcome a big goal is just listing them down. And you can definitely use Excalibur, but again, pen and paper works well as well. So I think you get the point of breaking big tasks into smaller ones. And then let me add that in accordance with number one. You've got your big task. You can now, from these smaller tasks, put them in Trello, right? You can put them in Trello, eat healthy, work out, and then walk 10K steps. You now have your big goals here. Then what you can do is put a checklist here or use Logsec or Notepad or whatever you're using. Put the individual small tasks here that you're going to do every single day in order to fulfill these big goals, right? You got your big goal, mid goals, and small goals. The mid goals are what you accomplish every week, every month, and the small goals are the one that you accomplish every single day. That's how you're able to overcome overwhelming. The number three, multitasking is a scam. Like, I hate when I hear some people say that they are able to multitask. Like, for example, they can study at the same time, listen to music, at the same time, talk to a person. I just can't. All right. If I am doing something, I put my whole heart, whole energy, whole mind into it in order for it to become finished faster. Anyone who's telling you that multitasking is possible is probably a scam. All right. You can't manage two things together because our brains are not meant for that, except for a limited number of people who have a certain disease. But for an average normal person, you can't. Right? Even me. When I'm working, I can't listen to music. I'm sorry. When I'm working, I can't talk to another person. I just can't. Like I'm really dialed in the work. So yep, definitely if you are, working, try and just put the music down or turn off your phone or pause the video. You're probably gonna go and finish the work faster if you try and remove those distractions. Number four, use Google Calendar to track subscription and tasks. Now, like this is another habit that I am forming, aside from putting everything on my checklist, the moment that it is deadline based, I go to Google Calendar and then I just put the event there. For example, I I subscribe for a free trial on this tool that's gonna end in 7 days. Instead of, you know, waiting for their email that my subscription trial is gonna end, I just go to Google Calendar, put an event there, and then remind me to unsubscribe for the tool. Or for example, if you've got a deadline for a client, just put the deadline there, right? It's one thing to, be reminded. It's one thing to like actually be reminded. I hope that makes sense. But yep, definitely try and use calendars. And one thing that I would like to note is that, I'm recommending a couple of tools. I'm recommending habits. But speaking of the word habit, it's a it's a continuous, consistent practice that will help you become better. Even though you know this stuff, it's not gonna happen overnight. It's not gonna improve tomorrow. You gotta do it s- small and step by step. So you might implement your to-do list today, and then you're, you know, using Google Calendar tomorrow, using Logsec the other day. It's okay to take it step by step as long as you are consistent. So I've got my Google Calendar opened up here. For example, it's super easy to use this. You just need to like drag. For example, remind me to cancel railway subscription. Right? You can do that as easy as that. Or when you've got a new client, you can just copy this, or actually just drag it, and then do the same thing for them, right? Matt X Ron, and then invite them as guests. So definitely just go and like explore Google Calendar. It's gonna like change a lot of stuff in your workflow, but it's definitely worth it. Right? Fifth, be project focused or project first. Now, when you're gonna start and learn something new, it's really hard to learn something if you're just gonna read it. If you just have this course, if you just have this material, like learning material in front of you, because even though you're motivated, just personally for me, it's super hard to learn it. Just following everything, you gotta have a project first before you even start learning, and that's a shift on your mindset because a lot of people are thinking, I need to know everything before I can start landing clients. I need to know this tool in order to like properly market myself. But in reality, you gotta have a project first in order to learn so that you can really implement the stuff that you're learning. And, you don't even, what I'm telling here is that you don't need to have a client before you even start learning. You can apply it on your own. If you've got a task or like a problem that you're facing, you can definitely use that and then apply automations on your own. Instead of, going through the course, all right, I'm going to learn NLN today. I'm going to learn make.com tomorrow, but you don't know what to make. Find something on your daily life that you want automated or that you want solved, and then go from there. Right? It's going to be more effective than just blindly learning new things. So definitely find a project that you can do and then apply my course or my learnings, my teachings into your project. And you're going to get so much more from that project than just blindly implementing another one. And finally, plan ahead, right? Like contrary to a lot of people, what a lot of people are saying, I actually, while I'm resting on weekends, I don't really rest. In my mind, I need to plan what I'm gonna do for the next week so that I can properly set my Trello, set my log set, and be able to like not be overwhelmed, basically. So during Sundays, even though it's my rest day, I actually go and brainstorm what I need to do for the whole week. I have this big task or three big tasks, limited to one to three, and then I plan ahead. When I know it's really big, I then go to Trello, break it down. I even use AI. Like I talk to Claude or ChatGPT. I say, ChatGPT, I've got this big task. Can you help me break it down into smaller ones? Right? That helps me to basically automate the whole process. What do I need to do on Monday, on Tuesday, on Wednesday? Because the hard part is, you're having fun on the weekends. Monday comes, and you have no single clue on what to do today and tomorrow and the next following days. And while it's okay planning for Monday, I would rather have a really good Monday than, an okay Monday. I want to have a good start of the week because that trickles down to the next coming days. So definitely plan ahead during Sundays, or yeah, just plan, because you've got the tools, you've got all the information from this video, but if you're not able to properly plan ahead, you're still going to be overwhelmed. So you got everything that I'm doing in order to like survive this. So as we can see, like to put this into perspective, for example, as we can see, like I've got my big goal for this week was to update my course material. And then I broke it down into like which videos should I like make. And then I put them as a checklist here, right? And then I just slowly went through all of them. Like if you're gonna notice, most of my videos are actually shot in a day. I batch them all in one day, and that's how I'm able to, do a lot instead of let me do this video today, then tomorrow, then the next day. So as we can see, like this stuff works as long as you're able to build that habit slowly and surely, being consistent, using the tools, and yep, that's it. Like that's how I'm able to operate at this level. So yep, I hope you learned a lot from this. If you want more videos like this, put them in the comment section below. And thanks for watching.